People who have friends with benefits. How did you go from friends to friends who have sex? We were watching a movie together and there was some reference to fucking. He said he'd never tried that before because all the girls he'd dated before have had smaller boobs. My boobs are very conducive to such activities. I jokingly asked if he wanted to try with me. He jokingly said yes. So we tried. Started as friends, ended up becoming roommates. Both of us had been out of relationships for a while, so sexual tension got high with us living together. Slept together a few times, and then she got a boyfriend, so we ended things. We are still great friends, didn't ruin anything between us, it was just casual sex between consenting adults. We were at her place talking about Halloween. A very paraphrased version of the conversation. It's just an excuse for people to dress slutty and have sex. Me, sex is good. And then we had sex. Been there twice. Both times, we got drunk one night and it just happened. We decided to keep having sex, but not get serious. Grew boobs. Suddenly got a lot of good friends who wanted to hold me tight. Instructions unclear. Grew boobs. It's water weight. And now I just sit around and play with them and my penis. I had been friends with D for years. I was dating her best friend K during that time. After K and I broke up, I stayed friends with D. We hung out a lot, and one night she said back quote, we should still be just friends, but friends who have sex sometimes. It was great, and lasted 4 years off and on. We are still friends, but she's married now. Clicking on this thread was the wrong choice for my self-esteem lol. That feeling when people talk about doing sexy things at parties and you've neither been to a party before, nor done sexy things. Lol, same boat man, I don't even know what being sexy means. It generally works the other way around. Generally there is a fling, but no personal connection, so you just stay with it when convenient. It rarely starts from pure friendship. Sexual tension doesn't just come out of nowhere. This, plus alcohol. Yeah, I sorta feel like the top answer should have been I drink too much and associate with other people who do the same. Source, presently at the bar. I was random friends with C. We had met through a mutual connection. One night after we had been texting for weeks and being friendly, I jokingly told her I could show her how to make carbonara. I brought 2 bottles of wine, we cooked together, watched some stand-up comedy, and then ended up having sex. We were on and off since then, and it was great. We both date other people and occasionally hook up. Currently still have a friends with benefits of 3-ish years. Brat was the brother of my best friend Kate through high school and college, so we knew each other very well. I had just gotten out of a very bad relationship and was still in the I'm going to cry and eat ice cream phase when Kate invited me to a house party. I ended up hooking up with Brad after the party. It was awkward for a little while after, but then we started hanging out again and realized we could be friends who just happened to mess around if we were both single. It's been a fun arrangement. Oh, let me quote the email I got out of the blue one day. If it wasn't apparent, I'm very attracted to you, and I think we could have really hot sex. I don't know if you're interested in adding the benefits package to the standard issue friends arrangement, but if so, we should talk about it. We talked about it. Then we started having sex. Wow. Email. Sliding into the yahoos. They don't call it Hotmail for nothing. We weren't really close, more like we had a mutual friend and added each other as a result. I'd known for years he'd wanted to fuck me. He was very upfront about it, but respected my boundaries, but I didn't do anything about it. Few years later, I'm out of a relationship, but I miss sex. He's randomly in town. I sent him a message. We meet up the next day, and the dick is fucking amazing. Fucked off and on for a couple of years. Only regret is not getting that dick sooner. Seriously, he fucks so well, it's like he went to school for it. Here is your degree in dicking. Go out there and make some girl think you went to school for this dick. He studied hard for this moment. Long and hard. I told him he smelt sexy, a mix of aftershave, whiskey, and cigarettes, and then he kissed me. Then we had sex, and have been having it on and off ever since. No romantic interest in him whatsoever. Sexy smelting. My smithing level is 99 in RuneScape, and 100 in Skyrim, so maybe we could hang out sometime too. She played D&D with me. One day I showed her my apartment and she showed me her boobs. Kinda just went from there. Has boobs and plays D&D. Sounds like you need to marry her. I did. We started as friends with benefits, but after a while feelings happened. Congratulations. How's the relationship going? 2 kids. A house in 2 years. I invited him to my room to play with the samurai swords he'd given me. Then pretty much just asked if he wanted to stay the night. He told me later that he'd just expected to make out. Instead it turned full-blown Caligula. We had crazy animal sex for almost a year. It ended because neither of us knew how to just keep it at sex friends, dates, presents, spending the holidays together, etc. But he also didn't want to be in a relationship. So that was fun. I always thought she was objectively attractive, but I didn't really try for anything as it was my first year of college and I just wanted to meet people. At the end of the year I got hammered from a night out we ended up alone, and I said straight to her face I want to fuck you. The day after we laughed it off, but it must have festered with her over the summer. By fall we were friends with benefits. I had a friend a couple years back. We were both in college and kept in touch despite being a state apart. We talked weekly. Well, over spring break, while we were both home he mentioned he recently lost his virginity and was told he was bad at it. I jokingly said well then we should practice make you better. After talking about it and said we would just be friends with benefits. We practiced all summer and come fall when he went back to school that was the end of it. We don't talk about it anymore, but I will say his girlfriend thinks he's great in bed and I'd like to think that was because of me. What a helpful way to indulge yourself. You'd be surprised what can happen if you just ask. Best case yes, worst case you lose a friend. How can you tell if it is safe to ask? Start by casual joking about the subject and see where it goes from there. We literally hooked up at a party, had sex within an hour of meeting each other, and that's how we became friends. Inviting them to a sex party tends to send the right message. I guess there are 2 options, verbal and non-verbal communication, both with varying degrees of subtlety. Each person responds differently. You can gradually introduce the idea of you being attracted to them and see how they respond. In general, if they're attracted to you and feel safe/comfortable with you, like they can trust you, then it'll likely be pretty natural to go there. They need to know that 1, they can be safe around you intimately. Naked vulnerability is a thing too. You will honor and respect them socially, like if they want to keep it hush hush, or that you would represent them well, etc. 3, that when neither of you wants to stop/change the arrangement, that you'll be cool about it. This is huge. Anyhow, none of these things matter if there's no attraction, so watch for signs of discomfort/disinterest when you bring up the idea or start flirting. Good luck. Get a boner, don't hide it, works every time. Every time? Pretty much, at least in my experience. I mean you're already friends, and assuming you're adults it kinda just naturally moves things forward. It also has the benefit of allowing the other person to whether or not they want to engage in such activities. Allowing them to make the move so to speak. This might be a dead thread, but I'm 3 glasses of wine in and alone so I'm gonna type this out. D was the roommate of my best friend. I'm a female, best friend is male. I was always at their house obviously, drinking/partying etc. One day I'm at said house and D is walking around shirtless and cooking. He had a literal 8-pack, defined, long hair, looked like a hot ass Tarzan. I thought to myself, no, hands off. Flash forward to a house party myself, and best friend attended. I'm sitting on the counter in the kitchen, drunk as fuck, and he just kinda plants himself between my legs and starts making out with me. Hooked up after the party, and about 100 times afterward. We work together now, both have relationships, and remain good friends. Sometimes there's unmistakable sexual tension, but we both know it's not a thing anymore. TLDR, best friend's roomie made a move and I went with it. Continued to fuck hot Tarzan. I'd been friends with him through high school and sometimes I'll send a booty pic or something to him, but one day we were talking about random past hookups, and I was like dude why haven't we ever hooked up, and then we smashed. We still do. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more edit videos. Click on the bell to get notified when we post more new content.